winning, you know, for people who have played any sport, or there's been any kind of competition, you know, winning is a difficult thing, you know, and sometimes here at Connecticut we've made it look like it's easy, and that people now you get the impression that winning is easy, and winning is not. It's never easy, you know, and winning all the time is never easy. You know, we've won so much that, you know, there's a perception that we just, you know, come out and we can name, you know, how many wins we're going to get every year, and it's not like that. So, you know, if you're a freshman and this is the first time you've ever won a championship, and you know, and you're proud of it, you should be. And if you're, you know, our seniors and this is the fourth time you've done it, then you should be proud of that as well. So, you know, it takes a lot to win, and nobody sees the amount of practice time that goes in and the amount of, you know, just actual time spent on the game. So I'm proud of our team, especially this year and the way it played out. Especially the way it played out this year. Could have really, really, really gone sideways, and it didn't.
Geno, I was going to ask, you alluded to it at the end of the other, but does this one carry a certain special meaning for you because it wasn't as routine as maybe some of the others seemed? I mean, you had to really work and earn this one.
Yeah. You know, there was a time when I used to try to pick out the formula for winning, right? And I would, you know, when we had 16 league games, I always thought if we could go 12-4, we could win the league, you know? And a road win was like huge. Like if you could win 4 out of your 8 road games, it's like, wow. You know, and those were such incredibly emotional days because you knew how hard it was to win on the road, and you knew you had to win all your games at home, and after every bus, you know, everything was a bus ride. So you know, no tablets. You know, this is all you had going home for 4 hours. You know, just staring at the stat sheet. And I remember those days, and I kind of miss them, to be honest with you. And now, you know, 5 losses in a season, and you know, at one point it's looking like we're never going to get a handle on this, you know, if we don't do something. But it's a different kind of a challenge this year than it was before. It's I think it was more non-basketball related, the challenge. The thing that makes it rewarding from a basketball standpoint is this is probably the most frustrated I've ever been trying to teach the game of basketball, because you know, in addition to having a lot of young kids, you never know how many of them you're going to have there on any given day, or how much you can practice on any given day. So yeah, this was very very rewarding to have this happen, and it means a lot. And I think the coaching staff and the training staff, athletic training staff, and our strength and conditioning people and our nutrition people, you know, everybody associated with our program should be really, really proud right now.
Dan?
Geno, 3rd straight game you've had everyone except Paige available. Are you feeling like you have a better sense of who works well together on the floor, or what lineups are starting to work?
Sometimes you look out there and you feel like this is a good group, and you don't know why, but you just do. And then there's times you look out there and you say, this is not a good group. And if somebody said, well, why isn't it a good group? I said, it just doesn't look like a good group. You know, and you could tell. So we're still trying to, you know, whether it's in practice when we're trying to figure out who plays well with who has to be in with who, you know, and that's why we can't afford to get, you know, some of our guys in foul trouble, because, you know, we just don't, you know, we might have a lot of depth, but It's not the kind of depth that's unlimited, you know? Like we can get Nika and E in foul trouble. That's a recipe for something bad to happen. You know? So we're trying to figure it out little by little.
Hi Geno, we saw Paige kind of going through warm-ups in her uniform today. How's she feeling with this next step in her rehab, and kind of what's her status? I know you told us she wasn't going to be playing this week, but just to see that today.
Oh, you know, I think it was maybe a month ago. How long has it been? 9 weeks? 9 weeks, right? So over 2 months, right? So maybe it was a month ago, I don't know. She walked into the athletic training room and she had this big swollen knee. And everybody said, this is not good. And this is gonna set you back a long time. And came back 2 days later and it was gone. And I said, what happened? She goes, I'm different. She said, I told God I needed this swelling to go out, and it went out. I kid you not. This is the kind of stuff I got to listen to, and worth. So the kid just has this knack of she heals, you know, at her own pace. And she's got a meeting tomorrow with Dr. Arciero. And after tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Punxsutawney Paige. She sees her shadow, right? Might be 2 more weeks of rehab. I don't know.
Geno, 2 questions. You said the other day that you were going to stick with the same starting lineup unless something really made you change your mind, and today you put Liv back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then second, just the impact that Avina's had of late. I mean, she just seems to be playing the best basketball she has since she's been here.
Yeah. Some of the things that you say, you know, that you love to do are great in the moment, but then when you go to practice and you actually try to put them into use, you realize that some people are better suited for a certain role, and you could be wrong, and you have to change your mind. So, you know, I just felt like going with Liv today gave us a better flow, and Dorca's explosive coming off the bench, you know? Like, she makes things happen. And that was the same mindset going in with Avina, you know? I said, Avina, we don't have anybody coming off the bench that changes that game, so that's gonna have to be you. That's all there is to it. I don't even think I said that. I just said, Nico, you're starting. And I think he figured out the rest. No, and then, you know, I said to her, I said, we helped our team 2 ways. You know, we got Nika a lot more playing time, and she starts the game with a certain edginess, and we helped our bench at a time when we really needed help coming off the bench. And she stayed with it now. And you're right, this is the best basketball that she's played in all the time she's been here. She's just, yeah, she's the Avina that I always thought she'd be.
Geno, do you anticipate putting Paige right back into the starting lineup, or do you anticipate she's going to play a few minutes here and then a few more minutes the next game? And how do you adjust your rotation now that she's been out for so long?
I don't know. You've been telling me all this time that when we get everybody back, it's going to be amazing. You know, now, you know, hey, when you get everybody back, what are you going to do? Everything gets sorted out eventually, you know. It's really weird when somebody comes back from an injury, you know. How many minutes are they capable of playing? Not because of their injury, but because of their conditioning. You know, how many minutes are they capable of playing? And should those minutes be in the beginning? Should they be spread out through 4 quarters? Should they be, you know, in the middle? When should they be? All these things you just kind of play by ear, you know, and trust your intuition. And I don't think whatever decision is ultimately made is going to be a bad one. You know, if Paige is playing, then the rest will take care of itself.
Anything else for Coach?
Hey, Geno, I was just wondering, coming up Sunday on senior day, these guys have been through a lot last year with all the freshmen, and they had to kind of bring all those guys along, and then this year, how much has their leadership just really helped you? Not even basketball wise, but I mean that too, but their leadership.
The one thing that our seniors all have is they're pretty like this. They're like this. They're very vanilla. You know, they don't get real high on things and they don't get real low on things. So I think them being like that has kind of made it, you know, a lot easier for everybody else to kind of look at them and go, they're not worried. I mean, they might have been, but they didn't show it. You know, so I think their disposition and their demeanor, without even saying anything, probably really made a big difference for the younger guys. And the younger guys just want to play basketball. They don't get caught up in a whole lot of stuff. They just want to play basketball. You know, our freshmen and sophomores, they just want to play. You know, you tell them we got to practice, they got to practice, but they want to play. And as long as we have a game, they're good to go. And so.
They're all good people. Like last year, Paige said that when she got Big East Player of the Year, that she would rather just give it to Auriemma. Like they're all, you know, good teammates.
Yeah. I think it's important that kids respect each other, you know, and I think there's a lot of respect that they have for each other, and they like each other, you know. Sometimes I've coached teams that, you know, you had a lot of kids on the team that they made an amazing basketball team, but individually, they weren't so much fun to be around. And then, you know, you've got teams where like it's an amazing group of kids, but put them out on the court, and they're not very good. And then I've had years where you got both. You got a group of amazing kids who enjoy being around, and they make a hell of a team. You know, I've been fortunate to have all three. This is a good group. They spend a lot of time together. And, you know, COVID did that too. You know, they were forced, you know, to spend a lot of time together, and they made the most of it. And our freshmen and sophomores, I would say, pretty easygoing, pretty likable. They're, you know, so it's been good. It's been good. Geno said, you know, it doesn't seem so bad. Like we only got a couple games left, and it went by so fast. It doesn't seem that bad, does it? And we all looked at each other and said, you remember what we were saying to each other a month ago? It's like the guy in Shawshank Redemption, right, Andy? By the time he got to Mexico, he goes, that wasn't bad. Really?
Do you have an update on Dorka after she took that shot in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, she just got some stitches in there. I don't know how it happened. I didn't see it, but you know, it's a classic one when you get hit in the mouth and you know her teeth are fine, but she just had a cut inside her lip, and our doctors took care of it, and she looks great. Her English got better right away. Could understand her better.
Tina Swincash was named the finalist for the Naismith Hall. Do you like her chances?
Yeah, she's a no-brainer. I mean, there's people in there that don't have her qualifications, right? Yeah, Swin's Swin's a Hall of Famer, man. You know, she's been a Hall of Famer since she walked in my office when we were recruiting her. You know, NCAA championships, WNBA championships, Olympic gold medals, and, you know, all the things that she's done, and, you know, what she's meant to the game of basketball. I mean, that's what the Hall of Fame is, right? That's Swin Cash.
When did you see it come with her? When did you, like, when even her personality standpoint?
You just knew she was different. She just had a different mindset. She thought very highly of herself. And she still does. And that takes you a long way. You know, she's supremely confident in her abilities, supremely confident in herself as a person, and played that way, and did everything that way, and attacked everything that way. So I'm not surprised at anything that Swin's accomplished. Not one thing. Since the day she got here. Because remember, she came in with Asia and Tamika, and it was like, I know you guys are good, but you ain't as good as me. And that's how it started, and that's been like that since day one. All right, guys. What's the weatherman saying, Anna? Are we going to be able to play Friday? Huh? So I'm talking about the league right now. Get St. John's up here.